Good morning and welcome to the Wednesday warm-up. I am your host, Lee. Yay! I think you're so beautiful. You should be a clever girl. This one for my colored girls. Not for any other girls. Hey, yes. It's definitely my theme song. Thank you so much, Glade. I appreciate it. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So, yes, you are joined on the Wednesday warm-up, powered by The Inside Show, the hottest podcast in South Africa, my G.
Number one in the world.
Come on. Prophesy.
And I really didn't mean anything by that when I said my G. But thank you so much for joining us this morning. Yo. We are so excited to have you here on the show, man. It is currently 1 minute past 9 a.m. in Johannesburg, South Africa. What is the temperature now? It's cloudy outside, just to let you know, but it's still humid. It's still humid.
No way.
So I just want to greet my fellow brothers here because we're about to have a family meeting, yo. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good day to my brothers.
Yeah, good morning.
Hello, guys.
Good morning. What's happening, Lee?
Top of the morning.
You know what it is, man. Hey. Top of the morning, top of the afternoon, and top of the evening to everybody that is tuned in around the world, man. We have a family meeting this morning, and we have hot topics.
Hey.
So we're going to literally have a top of the morning this morning. Leandra, you good?
I'm good. I just want to say for those of you who were really looking out for that mouth-watering show, man. Man, due to unforeseen circumstances, our guest for this morning got burnt last night trying to prepare the meal. So she was rushed to hospital, and yeah, it is really bad. So she couldn't make it this morning. We want to send love and light to Yentl. We hope that you recover fast, and she will be back in the studio. She will be back because there was some tantalizing meals that she set out for us, man. We're talking about that. Hey, Baba, man. But you know what? We move. So we decided to have a family meeting. But I'm good, Mr. Miller, to answer your question.
Thank you for answering.
And how are you?
I'm on top of the world.
Top of the morning,
Living
top
the
of the
dream.
morning, top of the world. That's good, man. I know you want top of the world, but we will get to that.
Yay!
Let's talk about. Hello, guys. Good day.
Yo guys, what's up, man? Welcome to another show. We this is our last week of shows, right?
Yes.
I think after this we're just gonna take a breather, man. Hey,
Gonna
Cyril, please don't lock us down, my
rest,
brother.
rest.
Please. We wanna have a breather, we wanna have a break, we wanna also rest. Yeah.
Pull up.
Good morning. Yeah, so Cyril, please don't give us a tough time, and let's look here, man. We're nonsense here. Just let us at least also rest a little bit, man. There's too much going on. Give us a chance to rest also, man. Don't come here with your lockdown gedagtes and omnicrom and crocoroms and things. Please, bro. Yo, give us a break, man.
Yeah, no. Jay, one of you?
Just waiting to hear what's gonna play now.
Just be liquor.
Hey! Coming through with that youngster CPT. Just be liquor. Liquor. We so liquor. Hi, man, as he scores. Yeah.
Say your overseas coach will score.
Please. Yeah, no, but good morning to all the people out there that's watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, man, interesting one here today. Thought we're gonna be eating leopard food.
I know, Jesse
but
didn't have
instead
breakfast.
We're speaking about other things.
Now we must
Hey,
squeal.
now we must complain with each other. Now we must have bunnies again after the show.
It is what it is.
Try, man.
Nah, but good morning. I confused the enemy a bit today.
Hey, you looking dashing, my brother.
Thank you. This
Come on.
But should I stand for now?
Yeah, man, come on, show us.
Check it out.
Show it.
Watch your head. Just watch your head.
Show them.
I have to pull the socks down because I have two different black socks.
Don't worry, it happens to the best of us, bro.
No, we know.
And then you have a potato.
Socks have feet, eh? They don't just go on feet.
Did you ever slide that one where the potato you shove him, but the potato finds its way up
Find his way till you
eventually, then sticking out, and you must stuck him back in.
Hey, and it craps you, especially when it's on the toe.
Now they read say the biggest divorce rate is between socks.
That's
No,
true.
but that's true.
Very true. Very true.
Facts,
Very
bro.
true.
Different size, different color.
Yay.
But now actually I want to understand as what happens in the washing machine when the socks.
Bruh,
Because
what
Where
I
does
think,
it go?
I think it goes in,
Used to
in
blame
the
the-
thumb, in
Yeah,
the
I
tumbler,
didn't-
behind
I
the
didn't.
tumbler
Used to
thing.
blame the auntie. You see, no, steal my clothes.
It's true.
Now you wash it yourself. You're also wondering that now what's going on with my socks,
Hey, it's true. Eh?
especially secret socks.
Yeah, it will humble you. But we've got another person here, and he's just looking at us like, okay, Hanan.
Yeah.
Facts. I'm waiting.
Good morning, Jay.
What's that?
Waiting for his song.
I'm waiting for my song, broski.
Where you going?
I'm going to see people. Hold up.
Okay,
I
okay.
must just say,
That's what you are.
cut the track, DJ. I must just say, Lee did a demonstration once on the table with the show. Jess was on the table. I think let me do some push-ups on the table just to warm the Wednesday up.
Let's
Is
go.
that-
Come
Let's
on,
go.
come
Let's
on,
get it.
come on,
Let's
come
get it.
on.
Play the track. Play the track.
Track DJ.
Come
Let's
on,
get
DJ,
it.
play the track. Yo. We were supposed to use this table to
Let's
eat.
go.
Hi, man. Yes, hello. Hi.
Come on, Jay.
Hi, Wakanda forever. Hey, Wakanda forever. That's what I'm talking about, man. We just warming up your Wednesday because it's the last show
Come
of
on,
the year.
Jay.
So
Shut
we're
up, bro.
going to give you the things that need to be done to the system.
Well done. Well done, Jay.
Going in, I feel like I must stand for the show.
Yeah. It's
gonna get hot here.
Xavier's like, hit the table with his hand.
The other day, somebody was watching. He's like, "Yo, I saw Zeke doing this," and I was wondering, "Yo, what are they talking about?"
No, really, it's the excitement for me. But we've got Jess in the comments there, man. Our fellow brothers have also joined us, and we just want to give a shout out to you. Good morning.
We got Daniel. We got Jean.
Yeah,
Juan.
Daniel Dupree saying good morning, fam. We got Jean Horn. Is it Horn?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
it
on.
is Horn. Saying good morning, my people. Hope you are well. Looking
Yeah.
forward to the show. Thank
Yeah,
you so much,
man.
thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Ju-
Shout
Juan
out,
Mata.
Shout out, Juan Mata. Yes.
Yeah.
We want to give a shout out to you guys. But anyway, guys, first and foremost, I've called this family meeting here this morning. You know, we used to that in South Africa. But this morning, it is
We are
me.
gathered
Me,
here.
Leandra Boysons.
My
I'm
fellow
calling
South Africans.
this family meeting here. Yes, this is Friday Energy in
Chupa
Studio,
tea.
Dano. And we are going to be talking about some very, very pertinent. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
Pertinent issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, this morning.
My fellow
Um,
brothers.
Uncle Atifan, now that's a shout out to you. But guys, first and foremost, what's happening in your lives today,
What's
currently?
happening in your world?
How do you feel? You know, you've come a long way since the first COVID thing.
Since day one.
Since day one.
Yay.
Oh yeah, we're not allowed to mention that name. So we'll. What did we call it now again?
Kobe.
Kovi.
Cohen.
Cohen.
So we come a long way since Cohen entered our lives.
Your name is Cohen. Sorry, bro.
But how are you guys doing? Mr. Malia, you have some amazing news.
Oh, yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yes,
You know, God is doing the things. You know, I got my ring on.
Come on,
you know,
come on,
and-
come on.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
You know?
hey, this man is taken once and for all and
Yeah,
finish
no.
and
Listen, my brother came into the room the other day, and he's like, "Bruh, now the other ladies they poor now for real."
Yeah, no,
I'm
it's
like,
over
why?
now.
He's like, they don't have a chance anymore, bro.
Yeah.
It's done. It's a done
Finished
deal. And
now.
I was like,
Done.
yeah,
You Wakanda them.
one time, you know.
But if you stout, they still have a chance.
Ah, yeah. Started
Devil
one.
is a liar. Yo.
Yeah, no. So I proposed to my long-time high school sweetheart. We've been together. We'll be together next year,
For
Feb,
100 years.
for 10. We'll be together on the 14th of Feb. We'll be 10 years together.
This
So
man
it-
is romantic, ik say.
yeah, no.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
It's my Valentine's Day sweetheart. What did you call it? Valentine's.
Your sweet Valentine.
There we go. So we got engaged about a week ago.
Hey!
You know,
About a week ago.
and the video only
Maar
came
hij
out
een
Monday.
About
So
But he
yeah,
came
man.
out a changed man.
Hey?
Bobby Schmurder came out a changed
Oh,
man.
he's a change
Yeah, he's
man.
got
Yeah.
saved in jail.
So that's what's been happening in my life. Yeah, that's what's been
Met
happening.
Jesus.
No, he didn't. He's like, what's the one that dances on the devil?
That on
He
me.
came out that
Little
vibe.
Nas.
Yo, I wanted to say nasty.
He met the devil in jail.
He came out with little Nas vibes. You
Aish.
must see the videos going around where he's like,
Ooh,
yo, 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 yo.
Seen
Man
now.
became
But
a
congratulations,
gangster.
Mr. Miller. We've
Thank
also
you.
got Sheldon Banks congratulating you
My man.
and your beautiful
Mr.
fiance, Ray.
Thank you.
Your ray of sunshine, eh?
Yes,
Yes,
come
man.
on.
That's what I'm talking about. So
We-
congratulations.
so she's
that's-
now Rayonce.
Yay!
Fiance, Ray, you know.
And
Okay.
Beyonce.
We
Rayonce.
see you. We see you, Mr. Miller.
Yeah. No, don't use that on Miller. That sounds like another strand.
Oh no, a strand of COVID.
Zykes, you, my brother, what's happening
Look,
in your
Yana,
life?
this year, all of us had to learn how to survive.
Yeah.
We had to learn how to make things out of
Nothing.
not knowing what the next family meeting is gonna be about. We're like, at this point, it doesn't matter what us O says, bro. We have to survive.
I'm
yeah.
very grateful that we have Jesse in our lives because he's Mr. Winging it and we all just had to learn from him.
Hallelujah.
That's what we literally like took on Jesse's personality and lifestyle. We
We
just
had to wing
winged
it, bruh.
Just
everything.
went with the vibes.
We just had to
with the
wing
flow.
it. But here's the thing, though, we had to figure out ways to survive in this nonsense like that's going on. We don't know what's coming next. We don't know what the government is concocting. We don't know. Today there's nothing. Tomorrow there's something. Today there's people. The thing numbers are going down. Tomorrow the numbers some 100,000. It's like, yo, bro, what's going on here? And so we just learn to
Hoorah,
survive. Exactly, bro. So we learn to survive. We learn to keep it moving. And yeah, bro, we as humans, we tenacious. We find ways to
Exactly.
figure it out, and we're figuring it out.
We're figuring it out. Jess?
Yeah, no, like you mentioned, we just went to the vibes. Learned how to make muffins this year.
Yeah.
Come
cool.
on.
What kind of muffins, Jess?
I want to say brand, but hey, that one's now and then.
Gonna make us stomach
Make
work.
us stomach work. Hey. And the
Magspoel.
farts in bed don't smell so great.
I thought you were talking about the edibles, but okay, that's also
Yo,
fine.
yo, the devil is a liar. But when the struggle happens, you need to sell those.
You must sell them off. Like that man
Like
that we had
that,
on the
yeah.
show.
I
Like,
was
so, bro,
just-
how did you survive? Yeah, bro, we asking him like a
Yo, he
serious
was so
question.
serious,
Like, so
eh?
how did you survive
Survive this year.
through
It's
this
been
year,
really,
man? It's
really
been really-
crazy.
Yo, bro, I was selling
Episode
wines.
I just love the honesty on the inside show, man. I love the honesty. But so you say you were just winging it as per
Yeah, no,
usual,
winging
Jess.
it, going with
Made
the flow.
muffins, learned how
Made
to make
muffins,
muffins.
yeah, no. Learned how to cook also.
Yeah.
Yeah, this time, yeah, no.
Yes, you.
What can you cook, bro?
I learned how to make Korean fried chicken, my man.
Yes, man.
Come on.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Come on.
And then ramen is always a go-to.
Ramen's
you know,
always a
it's
go-to,
easy.
but that's there.
But it
There's
don't-
the
oh.
instructions
We also
at the back.
learned how to make that things from Squid Game.
Yes,
The
the
tamalaki.
tamalaki,
The
basically.
tamalaki from Squid Game.
That was
So
nice,
yeah,
yeah.
no.
That was
You know, that
nice.
was very like a
Just be.
Facts.
And Jay, you, bro, how was your year?
Now this
how are
year,
you?
I'm blessed and highly favored.
Come on.
Wow.
Blessed and highly favored.
Amen.
I think for me, like we mentioned last week, whenever life stretches you, be optimistic about it, not
Just be
pessimistic.
Be
Yeah, bro.
stretchable.
Be stretchable and do what you gotta do. Do what you
Like
gotta
a
do to
stretch
survive.
tent. Yeah.
Be
But
like a elastic.
come
Stretch
on,
tent.
come on, come on. Take my airtime.
Be like a stretch tent when it rains.
Take my airtime. Take my airtime. Come. I just got one shot, bro.
Come on,
Just
man.
got one shot.
Beavers come in October.
Yes, sir. They don't want us to win, bro. But bump it, bump it, bump it, bump it, bump it.
They don't want us
They
to
don't
win.
want us to win. But now, something big launching. In the beginning of 2022.
Hey!
Yeah.
Come
Yeah,
on.
something big. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Also getting married.
About.
Soon, but
Yay!
not yet.
That's
Not
one
yet.
of them.
Nah, not yet. Now we still underground, working on big things. Big
That-
things.
that's
Hey,
right.
man,
That's right.
Come
That's
on
right.
now. Come on now.
get it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Groundwork.
It's about town.
That's cool, guys. For me, this year really stretched my faith. More than anything, I learned how to have faith. And I feel like, it's like you were saying, you can do it either way. You can be optimistic about the situation or you can continuously complain.
Yeah.
And I have chosen the former. I've chosen to be optimistic. I've chosen to have faith in the most challenging of times. I look at the Israelites. They were freaking in the wilderness, man, for 40 years. And they made it, well, not only by their own strength, but obviously through the power of God. They made it work. Some of them died out. Some of them continued. And I feel like that's where we are right now. So I choose to continue to push on. on. I choose to continue to have faith. And I look forward to big things as well. Next year, big things. Obviously, we don't disclose much now, but
Van julle stil hier goed.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. We can't disclose much of our what our plans are, but you will see when it happens. So now, guys, state of the nation. Let us talk about it, right?
Does it? No.
So you know that the new variant, there was a new variant. Sorry to end it on that. It was such a high note. We were all like, yes, we positive, we optimistic. So
Can you
guys, the
mention
new
Cyril?
variant.
Sarah's like a wet blanket. When you just, my
Not-
fellows out, you like, wow.
Not panty.
Oh,
Not panty.
Okay.
Bro,
You
you
know
might
when
need
you
to
are-
use your phone for open shot.
Bro, I'm needing my phone here. Plus it's gonna die.
Why? Did it freeze?
Not
Oh.
free. Just
Do you
for
know?
vibes.
You know when you swimming, nah, and then you put a shorts over your swimming costume or
your bum
whatever,
itch.
and it's wet, man. Your bum is just constantly wet. That's how it feels when we hear like State of the Nation, family meeting. So, but anyway, guys, a new variant was discovered by South African expert Dr. Angelique Kutsia is the one that found this new variant. So patient 0 came into her practice, into her offices. Her practice,
Why
nah.
don't you just keep
Came into her practice.
About this
And she had some symptoms. She had body aches. She had flu-like symptoms.
Timing
and so,
on point.
Timing on point. So she tested her out, and she thought that it was just a normal common flu because it wasn't like the Delta variant. There wasn't. It was similar to the Beta variant, the symptoms that she experienced. And so what she did was she sent the test results to the lab. And when the lab came back, they found out obviously that there's a different spike protein, and so that's when the new variant was discovered, and that variant is called Omicron. I was laughing. I don't know, did you guys see Wombiza's status, his Facebook status? I think it was yesterday. It was so clever. He was like, yeah, Cyril, what happened? You said no mandatory vaccines, but I guess it's just Omicron for you. Omicron. So I found that very Wombiza. Shout out to you, man. You're my hero. And then after that, we had a travel ban.
We
Hey!
got the homie.
Thank you, Clay.
With
Hey?
the lapel.
Hello.
Hello.
We've got our
Are you
producer.
here, bro?
I can't hear me.
Shout out. We can
We
hear
can
you.
hear
We
you.
can hear you, bro.
Can the Lord hear me?
Yes, he can. He can hear you whenever.
You must just
Get
pray
the
louder.
Even the faintest call he hears.
I must scream because heaven is far.
Yo. So then, guys, we had the travel ban. And so now, how do you guys feel? Let us talk about it. Open the floor.
Look.
Mullah can start because
Yeah,
he was
no,
Hey, he was most affected by this.
In fact, I've been on the news.
He's
every
been
day.
affected by this.
Been for almost a year now. But anyway, it's all good. We still keep on going. We still do
still
what we
winning.
gotta do.
We move.
That's it. But anyway, so I checked the article yesterday. Excuse me. News 24. News 24 was basically investigating the new variant numbers, and
Okay.
they actually found that they were. This was the question: how can the numbers go from 212 to 18,000 new cases in the space of 2 weeks? A week, 2 weeks, and then basically they investigated the thing and actually found that the new variant only had 824
Cases.
new cases. The data that they were showing was data for previous variants. So I read that article and I was
That
like,
is good,
this
though.
is crazy because now you have a situation where we are like so excited to announce this thing to the world, and then the world comes back and they're like, we block Southern Africa. No one from Southern Africa is coming into our country. Australia, Europe, the guys in Europe, everywhere basically. If you want to go anywhere, you cannot because apparently it is a South African variant. But then again, Piers Morgan from the UK was like, this is not a South African variant. This was identified in South Africa. So they have seen that this variant is also in Australia right now.
It's also in the UK.
And in the UK and some parts of Europe.
Vaccinated
It was
and
there.
all.
It was there prior to us
Vaccines werk
identifying
nie.
it.
Yeah.
Enforcements vir goede wat
So,
nie werk.
I think it just sucks a little bit that, like, the rest, South Africa, Botswana, there's quite a bit. It's basically Southern Africa. Everyone that falls part of forms part of Southern Africa, we cannot go anywhere, which sucks.
Bruh, I want to jump in there when you're saying that they were showing us data of this massive jump. Nah? It's not the surprise, bruh. That's what they were doing the whole time. Now, here's the thing. It's like a tap that they can open and close, right? Because 3 weeks ago, before election, or 4 weeks ago, before election, you find the tap was closed. You saw me hear nothing about what the numbers are dropping, nothing's happening, no one's getting sick, da da da.
You didn't even hear numbers.
Yeah,
are dropping. You just didn't hear
listen,
about
you
COVID.
weren't hearing
It was
anything.
elections, bro. We had to get through that.
Yeah, bro, you weren't hearing about anything. I mean, radio, news, everything. Normally, when you were here, the numbers went up by this. This happened, that happened. Bro, you were hearing about sports. You were hearing about other things going on around the world. It was like news was back to normal. The week after elections is done, some numbers are here through, some new variant, some it's like, nah man, gents. Then someone open a tap full blast now. Okay, now we're gonna scare the people. And here's the thing, if you can't see by now that this is a matter of controlling your mind and your spirit and the direction of which whatever it is that they're trying to achieve, then I'm sorry, I don't know how you reason, because clearly the evidence they're putting on the table is not even lining up, right? It's not even making sense. The thing they're telling us doesn't make sense. Even with the forcing of vaccines and all that, it's not making sense, bro. Because one minute they say the vaccine doesn't work for the new thing, but you must still go get it. Next minute they're saying that they're not sure, you're going to still get sick, you must still wear a mask, we must still lock down even if you have the So now we're asking, then what's the point of the vaccine then if nothing changed from 2019 December to 2022 December, we're still locking down, there's still restrictions, there's still bans, we still can't do what we're supposed to do. So essentially nothing changed. Yeah, it's because the people don't want to go for the vaccines. Yeah, but even the people who are going for, I'm willing to bet money this person that came in with a new Omicron was probably vaccinated.
They didn't say. They don't have any information
Yeah,
at all.
so here's the article. It says, News 24, this is the 6th of December by Kyle Cohen. Omicron panic, how's the dumping of 17,000 positive tests skewed the picture of SA's epidemic trajectory? Just listen to this quickly. It says here that at the exact moment that the announcement was made, coronavirus data available showed that South Africa had been a major spike in cases from 312 on the 21st of November to 18,586 on the 22nd of November. In reality, there were only 868 new cases, while 17,718 of these cases introduced were historic cases, some as old as April 2020.
So is that not manipulation of the
Definitely.
stats? Because that they put out as fact.
Yeah.
And here's my issue from day one. They put those numbers out as fact. You don't know if it's true. You don't know where they're pulling it from. You don't know if they're sucking it from their thumbs. You don't know anything. But we just listen. Now we here with the masks. Now we in the house. Now we locking ourselves. Now we're not going in. Just from a lie. Because that's a blatant lie.
Yes.
But now they won't come back on 702,
Yeah.
on ENCA, on wherever. They won't come back and report that, eintlik,
We made a
die
mistake.
numbers was verkeerd.
Yeah.
We lied to you. They won't, because
Once
it
again,
does,
they're going
it
to
goes
dance
against the
around
narrative.
it, and they're just going to come up with something else. Yeah, but this is the situation with this.
Not to mention
This
that
feels like season 2 of Maze Runner. Like we in season 2 of Maze Runner.
does. It
Where
does.
everything is controlled by the man and we just running around trying to fight.
Yes.
But that
It's
is
true.
what's happening. Not to mention that the recovery rate when COVID first started was over 98%, bruh.
Yeah.
It was the same recovery rate as flu and the common cold. And people don't like it when you make this comparison. But it is the flu.
Yes.
A COVID variant is part of the flu family.
Yeah.
So it is the flu. Now the recovery rate is 94%. But the death rate, that means if 94% of people recover, that means 6% of people are dying. But the death rate for other crimes in South Africa is over 70%, 60%, 50%, depending on sexually related
Deaths.
abuse and death and whatever. Is more than 30%, more than 40%, bruh.
Yeah.
So that should be a pandemic
That
if
is
all
a
else.
pandemic. Exactly. That should have been a pandemic before anything else, like you were saying. It's like a lot of people are also asking with regards to the vaccines, and it's another question that we bring out, and a lot of people say, yeah, but it's irrelevant because at the moment we are in this crisis. For instance, like there was easily a variant created for a vaccine created for Cohen, but now we have a situation where what about all the other diseases and
they're
viruses?
not focusing on nothing else.
What
except
about that?
Cohen.
But
And then
that should show
obviously
you
there
that
was
there's
now
a-
TB, that they discovered a breakthrough in vaccines for TB and stuff. But how many years did it take for them to get to this point? So the question is like, there must be an agenda, and the
That should-
agenda is obviously driven by
control
Moolah.
and money. So
Moolah.
that should
And the
show you there's
the
an
wax thing
agenda.
is that Cohen boosts those other stuff as well, even to the
But
max.
but like Zek said something
Poor
very
Cohen.
interesting now. Cohen is like the common flu, nah?
That's
Yeah.
my bra by the last time.
Yeah.
Cohen.
But think about it. There's a vaccine for COVID that is like the flu, but there's no vaccine for the flu.
yeah.
So that in reality, we are gonna have this forever, like the flu. So
Yeah.
why do we take a vaccine? Like, why do we take a vaccine if it's gonna be here forever? Because it's mutating in people that are vaccinating.
Yes.
If you think about it, it's pointless to take a vaccine at this point in time until they have discovered or done their research properly. Because up to this point, it has been mismanagement of information, mismanagement of
funds.
medical malpractice also. Because a lot of people, their cases were, I am a diabetic. I go into hospital, I have COVID. Why do I have COVID? Why am I not being treated for what I'm going for? If I have a chronic disease, I go to hospital, they put me in a COVID ward. Why?
And
It doesn't
people,
make
and
sense.
people were dying from other things, not COVID necessarily.
That's the
and
thing.
then when they couldn't answer why people are dying, then they say, no, it's COVID related. No, they might have had COVID at some point, and this is the after effects. So it's like, no, you are just trying to push those numbers to scare people because. And I'm telling you this from experience, bro. I took my father for operation for his gallbladder.
Yo, welcome the door to the room.
I took my father for operation for his gallbladder.
Yeah.
And they forced this COVID thing on us, bro. They were like, no, you must take a test. You must take a test. We went for the test. They said, no, the test is positive. All of a sudden, they're kicking us out of the hospital. They're telling us to go sit in the car and things like that. I tell that lady, is this test accurate? She says, no, it's not. I say, can we do another test? She says, fine. They do another test. That test comes back negative. I say, okay, so now you're going to do the operation or not? No, we can't be sure. So we're not going to do the operation. So it's either if we do it, you must put your father in a COVID ward. I said to her like this in her face. I said, so my father can't come out there because the people who go in there don't come out.
Yeah.
And then she was quiet. She couldn't answer me, bro. Because for me, nah, I'm sorry, I said it a million times on the show and I won't change my point of view. This whole thing, nah, there's too much like skelmigheid going on around this
pandemic.
thing, bro.
It's the
There's too
pandemic.
much dodginess going on.
And that's the problem that I have with this whole thing. Even with the vaccine argument, my argument, I don't have anything against vaccines. I have a problem against how it's being implemented and how it's being rolled out. That is my
Enforced and
problem.
shoved on you.
And the secrecy for me. I mean, if this is concerning my health, do I not have the right to make an informed decision on my what was that like?
Yeah.
On my
You
health?
need a vaccine, brother.
On my health. That's my biggest problem. Now we're going into this thing, guys. The president's gonna be speaking on the 12th of December, which is this Sunday. Okay? So we see now that story came out, Mr. Miller. Are they going to take that story into consideration?
No.
Right?
No, they're not. They're
That
pushing
story
our
came out
agenda.
of the fact that the numbers are fabricated, if I can put it that way. We've got historical COVID
Data,
numbers
yeah.
that have been coming out that is not part of this new variant or these new cases. That is the situation there. Then we ask ourselves the next question: is he going to do a lockdown? Is it going to, because the business sector came and they said, listen, Mr. President, we cannot take another harsh lockdown. We are not going to survive. We've already, many companies have shut down. So the unemployment rate is already high. Now, it's another thing on the table is vaccine mandates. So we know that the business sector has already approached the Constitutional Court to make it constitutional to roll out this vaccine mandates in the private sector, in businesses, in schools, etc. I know that there was a committee meeting or a forum with the teachers' unions as well that came together to say to make vaccines mandatory once again. So that might be on the table. So what do you guys think about the vaccine mandates? Think about it, because some of the arguments are, some people that, like for instance, this guy that spoke yesterday on the news, part of the teachers union, he said that some of their members are okay with vaccine mandates, while others who are vaccinated say that they oppose vaccine mandates because they just feel that the way in which it is being rolled out and the way that it's being forced is not effective. It's not going to be effective. In fact, it's going to cause more harm if you're just going to force people to, and we've seen it in some parts of the world where they've already tried to mandate vaccines, like in Austria, in the UK, in Australia, where in many sectors they've already started to implement that. So another minister said that if they do this, they must take into consideration that South Africa is already suffering with a high unemployment rate. If you make it mandatory in the workplace, and if you don't want to go and get the vaccine and you get dismissed, they dismiss you without compensating you. So this guy was saying that it's almost an excuse for businesses to just let people go without compensating them. So what happens now? There's a bigger economic burden on the country if people just decide that, well, I will leave my job, but then the employer will say, yeah, well, you leave your job, it was your choice, we don't compensate you, finish and clear. It puts a bigger burden on the unemployment rate, a bigger burden on the economy. So with those things in mind, what do you guys think about the vaccines?
To me,
mandates.
To me, I just don't understand the sudden interest in my personal health, because you weren't worried the whole time about AIDS. You're not worried about the death rate as far as sexual deaths are concerned, where people are being raped and abused and killed, and you're finding bodies in the back of a dumpster. You let's be honest, they don't care about your personal well-being.
That's true.
Who cares about those politicians are sitting there trying to see how they can make the next $1 million, the next $1 million rand. They don't worry about your personal well-being. So here's my thing about vaccines, right? If you feel that this thing is, I'm scared of corona, I'm scared of what it's doing, I'm afraid for my life, I have my loved ones at my house and so for my health and my well-being, I'm gonna go get vaccinated.
Yes.
Go for it. Then you go get vaccinated. Then the vaccine works. You're so confident in the authenticity and efficacy of this vaccine that you're thinking, if I get it, I'm sharp.
Yeah.
So then go and go get it. If I feel, I think it's a scam, I think you are lying to us, I think there's other things going on, I'm not going to go get vaccinated. What's wrong with that world? Because you must cover, you're afraid, so you covered. I'm not afraid. So if I get it, I die, then I die. So how is it your problem if I die?
Because obviously if you don't get it, so you can't give it to the person that gets it right.
That has the vaccine.
That's how it's supposed
so
to be.
you're safe.
So you safe.
And
so
I'm
why
not
you
safe.
tripping?
So why are you worried about my... That's why I started the whole conversation by saying, you're not concerned about my personal well-being. So in order for us now to get around that argument that I just made is that, no, you're filling the hospitals. No, I'm not filling the hospitals because I'm not... The people who reason the way I do don't go to hospital. Precisely for the fact that you're going to shove me into a COVID or put me on a ventilator, I'm going to be dead next week. So people who reason the way I do don't even go to hospitals in the first place. They decide, I'll rather get the ventilator, I'll get the oxygen machine at home, or I'll take my chances with the medication and I'll try and recover by myself. And clearly over 90% of them have recovered by themselves at home. So it's a given that it works.
Even those closest to death.
Yeah, even those who were literally, including my own mother. And she recovered, and she's fully recovered without going to the hospital. So that's what I'm saying. So your argument is flawed in so many ways. And somebody might sit there and say, but your argument is flawed. Let's have the conversation.
Yeah.
Because I'm willing to bet you're not going to be able to back your argument up with statistics, because statistics are against those who are for.
Jess, we've got a comment there.
Joan once saying, the vaccine mandates has absolutely nothing to do with the public health or the spread of COVID or the treatment of COVID. They want to impose mandates because they don't respect our freedom of choice. And then Annalise Jacob says, Juan perfectly said they do not respect our free will.
100%. Thank you for your comments. Mr. Miller, you might have an opposing view in terms of, not in terms of mandates, but in terms of vaccines. Perhaps because, you can share that.
Well, look, I'm fully vaccinated.
Twice.
Actually got my second shot last week. So by the book, I am vaccinated. But obviously, I had to get vaccinated because I need to leave the country soon. And unfortunately, I spoke about the system that we're living in. And I spoke to my fiance this morning about the system.
Yes.
The system wants you, even, working a corporate job, whatever, you're moving, wherever. If something happens to you, the system wants you to lie. The system wants you to operate in which it is built.
Do or die.
So right now, this system that we're living under in South Africa, around the world, you cannot travel without having a vaccination or a vaccination passport.
Yeah.
So I had to get the vaccine and whatever. And look, I agree with Xavier's perspective. If you feel the vaccine is going to help you, then get the vaccine.
Yes.
If you need to travel, you need to
get
do
it.
something,
Yeah.
go get the vaccine. If you need to,
People.
if you need to see
Yeah.
people, go get the vaccine. If you need to
Next year,
keep,
October,
if you
yeah.
need to keep your salary in order to pay your
Tough
bills and to
decisions.
look after your family by working your corporate job, go get the vaccine. But if you feel that you don't want the vaccine, you okay, you safe, then I think let us live in that rather where we actually embody or stand for free
Respect
will.
another person's belief.
Yeah,
whatever.
But
their
it's not
choice
there though,
because
bro.
we do have our freedom. We a free country, and I
But
know
we
that.
don't
But
actually.
we don't. It's not there, bro.
So for me, I think I'm gonna agree with that. If you feel like you need to get it, then get it. If you don't, then that's also
Because if he
okay.
comes on Sunday and says it's mandatory, like the way masks are mandatory, then you don't have free will.
People's gonna fight though.
yeah.
That's gonna cause problems.
Then
in
your
South
free will is
Africa.
gone, bro.
And I do think it's getting to a point where where they took this phased approach. First, they started with travel, where you have to have the vaccine. And now the workspaces.
Yes.
What's next? Restaurants. I mean,
Yes,
the
yes,
con-
they said.
the
Bro,
Justin
but
Bieber
a
concert.
blind person could have seen that coming. We saw that coming in 2019.
Exactly.
We
So-
could have seen,
Yeah.
they're going to force us.
So I think eventually we'll get to a point where even just to go to the grocery store, you're gonna have to
Yeah, you
show
can,
a
you
vaccine.
can then see
Show
it
a
coming.
card.
So, based on that, Mr. Jess, you go first. I'll
And I
get
just want to
the-
say, but how as a government do you go about that? Because that could create civil war within a country, basically. Because if I look at most of the people that I speak to, most of them don't want to go for the vaccines. We have now Discovery Soccer Tournament that's starting on Friday or Saturday, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. In order to go in, you have to
must
be vaccinated.
Yes.
And literally, it's in Soweto. And literally everyone that I've spoken to says they're not going to Discovery this year because they refuse to get vaccinated.
Yes.
Because they feel the same way we feel, that they're not being open and honest about everything. So
And
for
that's
me,
gonna
it's like,
open up
backfires.
corruption like
ba-
every-
yeah.
backfires.
So how, for my thinking pattern, it's like, how do we go about it
Yeah.
in terms of
But by the-
forcing it on
But by
you?
their own admission, they then saying it doesn't work for the new variant. By their own, they came out themselves and said, they're not sure
If
if it's going to
effective.
be effective against the new variant. You must go for a booster and things. So it's
Yeah.
like,
And then I also
and
listened
so
to the
then
one
this
UK
doesn't
doctor
work.
that was saying they need more data on it. They need to wait 2 more weeks to get more data on Omicron because Delta was the fast spreader. So they're not sure if Omicron, only whatever, is as fast spreading as
It's
Delta
not.
variant.
And it's
So-
not so heavy
it's
as well.
not as heavy as the first one was.
I want to
they
say this
that
quickly.
They say that it's more transmissible, but it's not. It doesn't have as adverse effects as the previous one.
Sorry, I spoke to someone yesterday, and he told me, he's like, bro, everyone at the top, they don't have the vaccine.
Sure.
But I remember
Everyone at the top
people
don't
with
have
money,
it.
and I think that's also going to be part of our conversation here. People
Yes.
with money, bro. If I have a private jet, I jump on my plane tonight and I land in a private airport where I don't get checked. They don't check my luggage. They don't check what I'm doing, whatever else. Maybe they'll check my passport, but that's it, bro. Do you think these millionaires and billionaires are traveling around, being checked around every hookie and draakie. No, bro, they have access to things that we as the mortals here, the players of the game here on the floor, the peasants, we don't have, we must just do what they tell us to do, like the puppet masters. They don't have to.
Yeah.
They have the money to work their way out. They can go for a lawsuit and win the case. They can buy the judge. They can do whatever they want, bro. But you as the peasant here, you must just dance to the tune.
Okay, I'm going to close this conversation with that topic with this. In terms of, Mr. Miller, you said you, according to the current standards, you are fully vaccinated. But
That's
remember, now the argument raises if the vaccine is not effective against this variant, therefore it will not be effective against the other variant. So we're going to need a booster. So they were saying now that you cannot use the term fully vaccinated anymore because nobody is ever fully vaccinated.
They just done made you a chronic patient.
So now,
Now you must
but
go
for
all the
now,
time.
for where we're sitting at now, you
The
are
next one
fully
leads to the next
vaccinated.
100%.
According to the standard of our medical, where we are medically. But obviously on international standards, we are not fully vaccinated because they've already, some first world countries have already received their booster shots. So now obviously they're introducing other immune boosters like JSK and Pfizer's also now developing immune booster pills.
But they're bringing it into a pill now, so which means you don't even have to necessarily get the injection anymore.
So that's another thing that's coming up now. So already the argument, the reason why many people are still hesitant, I think, in my opinion, this is from my opinion, I cannot speak on behalf of the rest of the population of people who are against vaccine mandates. Again, I'm going to put a disclaimer out there. I'm not against the vaccine. I'm against the way that this vaccine mandate is being imposed on people without giving people the necessary facts that they need to make these informed decisions about their health.
And lying about certain facts.
A doctor should tell their patient, that is what the healthcare system should do. They should tell their patient, listen, if I have cancer and my doctor's and I need to go for treatment, my doctor needs to run me through what I can expect. Listen, Leandra, if you go for this treatment or whatever, this is what you can expect. If it's chemo, whatever you can expect, and radiation, you can expect hair loss, you can expect loss of appetite, you can expect this. But with this vaccine, we don't know what to expect.
But why
and they
is
don't want to tell us about the people that have been experiencing side effects.
Yeah, but why is it that those doctors, I think from the frontline doctors that came in and they approached the White House and they actually said, this whole thing is a lie because you can actually use 1, 2, and 3 medication. Then they pulled those medications from the shelf.
Yeah.
And then they pulled those doctors' reports off the internet, off Google, off everything.
Yeah.
So here's my thing, bro. If you're becoming so dodgy about facts, and you're manipulating the facts.
Yes.
To me, that's 100% spells. Yeah, man, what is the mission and the drive behind? There's something sketchy going on because why are you being so dodgy about the whole thing?
Okay, next topic quickly. I want to go into this Jub and Amanda Dupo. Jub and Amanda Dupo. And the whole Mac G situation. Yeah, so I the reason why I say Dupo is because I was at the event once with her when I worked as an editor, right? And she was the MC at that event. And she corrected, she said it's not Amanda DuPont, because it's Portuguese, it's Amanda Dupo. So since then, I've been calling her Amanda Dupo, and the rest of the people's just like, nah, that's Dupont. I know Dupont. so always when I say that, people are like,
Amanda Dupont.
So I'm just respecting her, man. You know, according to what she said.
Amanda Dupo.
So
yeah, Darren's cousin.
It's Darren's cousin. So listen, man. This is what happened, right? Tutu was on Mac G's podcast. What is it called? Podcast and Chill. So Mac G is a South African podcaster, very good, he's doing amazing work. And so they were talking about, Jub was on his show. Jub is a South African personality, a famous person. What is it?
It's only in South Africa.
His name is
Molemo
Jub Maro
Was he not the guy that bumped
the
Yes.
kids?
Yeah,
Yes.
Jup Jup.
Drunk
That's
and
why we
driving.
call the Mini Cooper the Jup Jup.
Yeah, he was a couple of years ago. He was intoxicated and he killed kids that were walking on the sidewalk. He was in an accident and he killed the kids, and then he came out and he became famous again.
That's
So
why I was like,
yeah, so that's the backstory of Juju. But
I'm famous for nonsense.
now let's go into the situation.
that was
Right?
his second
famous
chance.
before.
When he was on
Yeah, he was famous.
on the show, Mac G basically asked him. I'm paraphrasing. It's not the exact words, but Mac G basically said, "So, bro, tell us now in the industry, like, you know, who did you get down with?" And he said, "I smashed Amanda Dupont, depending on your pronunciation of her name." So Amanda Dupont came out on her. She made a video and she said, "Hold up."
Wait a minute.
That's what I'm talking
Let
about.
me put some praise in it.
You said you smashed me. You didn't smash me. You raped me. So Amanda Dupont was with him for 2 years, and she said, "You cannot say you smashed me when in fact you raped me, even though we were in a relationship."
Forcefully
Right?
opened my legs. That's what she
Yes,
said.
she said you forcefully opened my legs and
For
you
the 2
raped me.
years.
Right? So now, guys, this is the conversation that we're gonna have, man. These victims that come out and say that they were raped in relationships and the controversy around that. Before we get into, I must just put out there that what happened was Mac G filed a lawsuit against Amanda Dupont, and she clapped back with a lawsuit to say, "Luister hierso, don't come at me
Like in
because I'm
America
about
now,
to."
suing each other.
Yeah, right. so she's got quite apparently, allegedly, she's got a strong case against Mac G because also, so he filed this lawsuit and he said that I want an apology and I want a roundtable talk. That's what he said to Amanda. So he
Jada.
gave her, the lowdown. He's like, "Listen, yeah, I want an apology and I want a roundtable talk. Let's talk about this." Because you are smearing my name, basically, is what he said. I'm paraphrasing once again. This wasn't his exact words. And then Amanda said, communicated with him through her lawyers. Just want to say that is a G move right there. And she said to him, "You are nobody to me." In the lawyer's letter. In the lawyer's letter, he said, "You are nobody to me and I will not engage with you I will not apologize and I won't come to a roundtable talk because what you guys did and the way that you spoke about me, I've got more of a legal ground basically to stand on than what you do. Because the way that they addressed the situation and the way that it was downgrading towards her. It made her seem like she's loose. Yeah, for lack of a better term. But what do you guys think about situations like this where victims come out, they've been in relationships for a long time, they come out and they say, "Listen, yeah, this is the situation. This guy raped me in the relationship." And then obviously, what's her name also came out? Kelly Kumalo?
Yeah.
She
But
also
I think
came
they also
out.
spoke about
Spoke
about in the podcast.
Yeah, they also spoke about her in the podcast. So yeah, these women are not happy about it because she says that Mac G's words and conduct were demeaning and degrading to her and women in general.
Because
But
Juju
anyway,
said that Kelly Kumalo must have been using Muti because he doesn't know how he chose Kelly Kumalo over Amanda.
ooh.
So I think the obvious question in everyone's mind,
Yeah.
and I'm just being devil's advocate,
Yes,
putting
yes.
the question in front. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying the obvious question in everyone's mind is how do you stay in something for such a long period of time and then come out and afterwards say you were raped? So is it continuous rape every time you'll have interaction, or is it when you're now fighting? And you drank and you came from an event and whatever else, because that's how that world operates.
Yes.
And now, look, I want something. Yeah, but I'm not.
And this was
lust for
also
something
before
now.
they were in that world, remember?
Yeah, this was before she was like famous. She was still a
Amanda.
student. She was
Where
a
was
student
he
at
at?
AFDA.
What was his position at the time?
So his mother apparently she's quite influential in the industry. Yeah, she's quite well connected as well. So like Amanda was saying, she was scared of the mother's influence and the mother's power as well. So that's the reason why she didn't leave. She was scared. To answer your question, why did you stay in the relationship for 2 years? She did come out and say, and this was an interview that she did a couple of years ago when she spoke about it. So this is not new. She actually spoke about it back then. It was about, I think it was 2014. I'm obviously speaking under correction, but she spoke about it in 2014. She did a interview, and she came out and she said, I was in a relationship for 2 years, and I was raped in this relationship. I was continuously raped in this relationship, but I was scared to leave. As in many abuse cases where women say, listen, it's difficult, man. This guy's violent. He threatens me. He's got influence. His mother's got influence. That whole thing. But obviously, we all open to have our own opinions about the situation. And many people, I do understand their sentiments. They don't understand. Like your question is because she's not clear about that. And also for me personally, I don't think she needs to give clarity on her experiences. This is her lived experience, and what she says, I respect her, but I also respect the other guy and what he has to say about it, because he did apologize to her. So do you think that apology is admitting? Yes, he apologized to her. Do you think his apology is an admittance to his wrongdoings and that he is guilty of it because of that apology? That's another thing that you need to take into consideration. And another thing is, so this is my opinion, and then you guys can go for it. For me, I believe that you can be in a relationship, you can be sexually involved with somebody, and there can be mutual understanding to a certain degree of your sexual intercourse, but you can also be raped. Because when you say no, it's no. Whether it's a woman, whether it's a man. It's not just that when a woman says no, it's no. And what about when a man says no, and a woman wants to get on,
get G with it,
and the man says no. When you say no and you don't give consent, and you are against the brutality or the violence within the sexual act, that is considered rape.
Just read that last one. There's a comment there.
Yeah, there's a few comments. Yeah. But I'll start with for the COVID things, COVID things though. I think we should not allow these people, the government, the vaccine, to bring division between us. Then Lucinda Peterson on this topic now says, something about that video doesn't sit well with me. If you watch the video, her emotions doesn't add up. Guess we'd have to wait and see how this pans out on both ends, innocent till proven guilty. Having being exposed firsthand to sexual abuse, you understand the emotions, and the emotions don't lie. Her emotions seem extremely artificial.
Okay. That's the opinion there from Lucinda Peterson.
With someone that came from that world and is a woman also, because oftentimes they disqualify men from this conversation. They're like, you don't know, you're a man, and blah, blah, blah. How will you know? And things like that. You are the rapist and you are trash and things. So then at the end of the day, then the man is like, hey bro, I'm just gonna keep quiet, because clearly it doesn't matter what I say, doesn't count. But then there are also men who are getting abused, but that's a story for a different day.
Eish.
But
I saw a video where there's Mary Club while he's busy singing. I don't know if you guys saw that. But
well, again, that's not off topic. But at the end of the day,
but
to
see,
me,
that's why
again,
they don't speak about it. Want jy lag?
I think the question...
Exactly.
I'll just throw a bunch of questions in, because I think this is what people think when they hear stories like that. Number one, the time period of staying in something is like, okay, how do you stay for such a long time knowing that this is going on? Number two, you can understand someone saying, I was afraid, or this, I was intimidated, or I was threatened, my life was threatened. Those things. But again, the thing is, you don't really know what really happens when those people are alone in their privacy, bro. Because we can have a relationship, and then if something goes south, I can come and say, now I'm going to say, tell people you raped me. It could be true, it could not be true. But now, you don't know what's going on when they're alone there.
But then again, it's like Lee said, do you think him apologizing is him admitting?
Apologizing could even be an issue of like, hey, I don't want more heat on this. This is now going in a different direction.
But would you not try to defend yourself instead of apologize then, if you know you haven't done anything wrong?
What did he apologize for?
I think he apologized about his comments. His comments.
Because that was whack.
Look, I just want to say this quickly. The way he spoke, when you watch the interview, the way he spoke, just think about it.
Yeah.
If you know consciously that you raped somebody, would you still go and speak like that about that
so
woman?
flamboyantly?
Yeah.
I feel like to his extent, yes, because he's basically bragging in there.
Yes, I think so, because can I tell you something? The way that we have made, like you were talking about sexual abuse in your stats, and you were saying that the sexual violence stats are higher than, for instance, than Cohen. The way we understand now, especially in South Africa, and this is the pandemic that we suffer with, that we don't even have a definition for rape anymore. Rape is just if a stranger comes and does it to you. We don't even consider rape in relationship because how can it be rape? We then together. But the thing is, that's my problem, and that's the reason why so many people will side with Joop Joop. If he is guilty, there will still be people that sides with him. If he comes out and the law finds him and the courts find him guilty of rape, they will still say that's not rape. Because the way that we in South Africa define rape is extremely appalling. That we would give excuses for rapists and say, no, but it's not rape. We can't even define rape in our country anymore. And that's the reason why the scourge of rape is so high. And the highest rape cases happen in relationships because people just say, even when you go, Amanda said it in that interview.
Yeah,
she said when she went to the police station and she said, this guy's raping me, that lady said to her, are you sure you want to give this statement? Reconsider your statement because this can't be rape if you're in a relationship with him. Even our police system denies. So why is there no charge against Joop Joop? Because even at the cop station, when she went to go make that claim against of rape, they said no, reconsider your statement.
Yeah,
that was in 2016, no?
Yeah, they said go back and think about the situation because there's a lot of women that do come to the police station and then they go back. They go back.
But think about it.
They go back to fix things.
It's a typical example. South Africans.
Yeah, they go back to the guy and then they stay with him again and they make up and whatever.
South Africans have a victim mentality. We constantly go back to the oppressor. So how can we blame Amanda DuPont and women who are in victim situations for going back to their oppressors and going back to the abusers? We keep going back. Think about our voting system. We keep voting for the same government that abuses us every single time. We've got a victim mentality, and we can't blame.
Wrong,
we can't point fingers and say, "I don't believe her." Look, obviously, I can't speak on anybody. I'm going to take that back. I can't speak on anybody else's. For anybody else and say, how can you say you don't believe her? I personally believe her. Joop Joop has too many cases against him for his character, and his character gives him away, and the stuff that he has done in the past gives him away. If he killed those kids because he was intoxicated, he was on drugs, what more could he not have done?
His
to
whole
her?
vibe is like it.
So
I can do what I want.
So for me,
he has that attitude.
Yeah.
I believe in him. Jess, you want to get into the
I wanna
comments?
check
Some
the comments
interesting
here.
comments.
Okay, yeah, we have where we now? Daniel Dupree saying, I respectfully disagree with Lucinda. We are living in the rape capital of
Yes.
the world. We can't have an innocent until proven guilty system.
Mentality.
I think. Yeah,
It goes on.
mentality when it's a pandemic in SA
Yes.
as well. I believe Amanda Dupo. That's what Daniel says. Then Arl says, with GBV as one of the holy grails of society, what's your take on so many GBV claims, especially among celebs, and seemingly a means of revenge or tarnishing personality profiles? Then Lucinda says, at Daniel Dupree, I respect your opinion. I will not take away from the fact that she might have been exposed to emotional abuse within that relationship. Rape is a serious offense.
Can I jump in there quickly?
Yes.
For me, I don't know, man. Like, I stand with, I believe, Amanda DuPont. You know, I'm with her 100%.
No, we against rape.
We against
Yeah,
rape.
bro,
Not against
100%,
you. No
bruh.
one's saying.
We're not saying it's right.
I'm just saying, you know,
saying
look
my
at that
shit's wrong.
homie, the guy from Espresso. So if you guys saw what happened afterwards, I think there was he sued her like 4 million rand for 4 million rand because of
I'm not too sure. I didn't
tarnish,
follow
Yeah.
the
the
story.
tarnish of
Reputation
reputation and all of that.
Yes.
Because they actually found out that that video was actually filmed a long time ago.
Yeah, it
and
was old. It was exposed
was-
that it was an old video.
It was an old video. They
The
made
Dupo
up.
one.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
They made up and then she just kept that
The
as
outshowers,
MO.
Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kept it as MO. She kept it as MO for him. And then when he slipped up, he did something, then she posted that video,
Yes.
which ultimately tarnished his entire life, his brand. And
that's
right
a
now,
very good question and a very good conversation to have, Odell and Mr. Miller, because it's true that there are many instances, and you know, like this industry, guys, being in this industry myself, it's a toxic industry. It's super toxic. You hear many rumors, and look, it's rumors. You hear many rumors of people who sleep their way to the top, right? And then when Popo hits the fan, the Me Too movement is strong, and this whole thing.
Then they come out and
then
say,
they're like,
you raped
okay, so now I've got a leg, because you have to be very, very
Strategic.
critical in the way that you view this, because you can ruin somebody else's relationship because of ill feelings towards this person. And what you can do is, because the whole world is jumping on the bandwagon of GBV and they're jumping on the bandwagon of Me Too, which is long overdue, there are still those people that take advantage of the situation, and those are the people that weakens the
I was just
advocacy.
about to say that doesn't help,
The
because
advocacy.
now we're gonna say, and here's another issue that also weakens that the woman's case in this regard. You have a situation where a woman and a guy is dating. You have a situation where they now become sexually active. Boom, she becomes pregnant. Then they have an issue where they're now arguing and fighting, and there's a misunderstanding and da 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 da. So it's been widely publicized that women often use the children as a negotiating pawn. Like, yeah, now you're not going to see the child. Now I won't let you come. Yeah, now you're visiting rights and da 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 da. And then you've had gents that would go to court and say, but now, she's now using the child as a thing to now spite me now, because now that's that. And so I know personally a couple of gents that have been through this, and then they come and say, bruh, next thing I come to court, I raped her.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yes.
And then now
I have one case in my family.
And so they can use it, especially if it becomes a strong tool like that. A woman can easily flip it around and use it as a weapon to say, oh, I'm seeing I'm losing the case, or I'm seeing the judge is feeling sorry for he's going to give him now rights to see the child, and what? Yeah, he raped me. Immediately that flips everything around. Oh, so you were a rapist, and then the book gets thrown at the guy, and he's like, but I didn't. It was consensual with this and that and that and that. So when it comes to topics like this, bro, it's like very tricky, because humans can turn things around easy, bro. So it becomes tricky.
But that's
Given that I do believe if a woman says, bro, this was unconsensual, this raped me, bro, you must believe it.
Because his cousin also came out.
Yeah, it's the 17 when she was 17 years old, she says he raped her.
Especially if there's overwhelming evidence against the like you can already see the character. Like the R. Kelly situation. You can see most how this guy behaves, how he is. But so it's clear that the chances that he does something like this is not far-fetched.
But so we're going to close with this. Another thing that we need to take into consideration is that like Daniel was saying, South Africa is the rape capital of the world, right? And like I said to you, the conversations around rape is so, and sexual offense in sexual abuse in any manner or form, right, is so how can I put it?
Divisive or divided?
Not divisive, but it doesn't. It's so vague. It's so vague that, like I said to you, we don't even have it. Like we can't even define what constitutes as sexual offense anymore, right? And the R word, we can't even say what that is, and that's the reason why many perpetrators get away with it and many false victims get away with it. So many of these people that just claim to it because it's so vague.
It's so open-ended.
And what we need to do is we need to have open conversations about this to destigmatize abused people, not abusers, to destigmatize being abused or the recipient of abuse, so that people can have the courage to come out earlier. Because a lot of the times, look at the case where she said that, and that is what makes a case strong for me, where she said she went to the police station to report the abuse and the rape, and they turned her away. So we need to change the systems at the top. Once again, we need to change those legal systems there in order for us to give true victims a voice, so that proper investigation can be done at an earlier stage, so that we don't come out 10 years later because of the shame of being abused.
Exactly.
And that's many a times why women don't want to come out. And you must understand, she's young at this point in time. She's extremely young. Jub was a couple of years older than her as well. So she was young at this time. She was still a student.
And I think she said she was a virgin still.
Yes, she was.
So that's also a factor that can keep her in that relationship.
Exactly. You thinking to yourself, I was defiled. How am I going to get... which man is... As a woman, I can think that. I'm still a virgin. I get raped. Who's going to love me? If I must come out and I must tell people... I must now date guys and a public figure. I must now come out and say I was raped.
But here's my question again. And this is my direct thing to anyone who still defends the COVID issue. If you were really so concerned about our well-beings and our things,
what you're going.
You see what I'm saying? Because now you're throwing how much billions, I'm not talking about millions, how much billions were thrown into this COVID situation? 500 billion from the top, then it was a 20 billion here and a 2 billion here and a 6 billion going missing here for PPE and this and this and this. There were literally billions of rands thrown to COVID-19 last year, in a year. If you were so concerned about our well-being, how is the GBV issue such a long-standing issue in society?
Sure.
That people every day are being hurt, are being abused, are being raped, are being killed, and there's not even money put towards it. There's no marketing campaign put towards it.
Look,
There's no
16 days of
advertising
activism.
There's nothing going on with 16 days of activism. It just sounds nice, né? But when it came to the COVID situation, they were punting it in our faces. They were putting it on every website. They were putting it on Facebook. You go onto Twitter, you go onto Instagram. It's just COVID, 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 COVID. You put a news on, it's COVID, COVID, COVID. There's money being thrown to COVID. There's PPE, there's this, that. It's like, if you don't see that there's something drastically wrong with that image, then I'm sorry, I don't know how you're gonna get out of this, but there's definitely something wrong with that image.
I just feel to address this because I see that. Thank you so much, Victoria, Twala, and Lucinda, also for giving your contributions. It's so important to hear a woman's perspective and a different perspective from a woman with regards to her emotions. Because Victoria Twala says that she agrees with Lucinda. Amanda's reaction was that of a person who has been triggered. So for 2 years being raped and being mum about it, I don't believe that. This is my response to that. People go, it's been years now. Amanda's married. She's with a good guy, first and foremost. Let's not take that away. I think his name is Sean Rodriguez, her husband, her current husband. And she has bragged about him in many instances of how, for the first time in her life, she feels like a woman, like a queen. That's how we treat her, right? I don't think the argument of her emotions is a strong enough argument to refute her claims. This is why I'm saying this. She has gone through counseling. She has gone through therapy. She has healed from many things. Obviously, she's triggered. When somebody speaks in such a degrading way about me, even if I'm healed from it, I will be triggered. And so I might not cry, because what do you want me to do? You want me to cry. What do you want me to do? You want me to be somber and sad.
You don't want to relive the emotion as well.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
she deals, exactly. For me, I think that she has come, looking at her, right? And looking at that video, because I saw part of it. I didn't watch the whole thing. I saw a part of it. So also, I cannot speak fully on it. But looking at her, I can see that she's a healed person. And for that, I commend her. And for that, I support her. And so therefore, I say that you cannot base her claims or make a decision on whether her claims is truthful or not based on her emotions of the video. That is an Instagram video. Obviously, it's probably taken a couple of times or whatever the case may be, so that she also doesn't put herself in a negative light, because maybe she was emotional about it. Obviously, she's a public figure. She's a businesswoman. She cannot say certain things because it could have a negative effect on her career.
But then again, you are emotional about it. Then people will tell you, you're overacting now.
Overacting.
Then it is your true emotion
exactly.
as well.
So for me, I cannot agree with that statement. I don't take away from the fact that yes, from somebody who has been a first-hand recipient of abuse, that your emotions will be different to hers. But I think that looking at what she has gone through and looking at how she responded to it, I see a healed woman. I see somebody who is strong, and I see somebody who can advocate for women who have gone through what she has gone through. So that strength that she portrayed, and even though she was triggered, but that she did, I commend her for doing that. And why is it that I must just allow some guy to degrade me? What must my husband think? I'm married. I'm a married woman. Yeah. You feel the need to come and talk about how you smashed me for everybody to see. And also her husband came out and he was furious about it. Because his wife has already gone through stuff with this man. That he still comes out and he makes her life like this.
And as a husband, you're also sitting there thinking, Char, this man is most disrespecting me.
Exactly. So that's the conversation today. I wanted to speak about, guys, there was one more topic, but we're not going to speak about it. I'll just mention it.
That's
so
fine.
listen.
We'll speak now for next week.
So listen, the share of wealth owned by the world's richest people soared during the COVID pandemic. A major study on inequality has found right? So I just want to give it.
That's not a red flag for you, bruh.
That's not.
Then I don't know. God himself must come tell you in your ear that people is busy.
So listen, the super rich increased their share of the world's income. So remember it was the top 1% of the world's population is the richest. Now it's the top 3% of the world's population that is the richest. So this is what it says. The World Inequality Report said that 2020 saw the steepest increase in billionaire wealth on record. Meanwhile, 100 million people sank into extreme poverty. The report from the Paris-based World Inequality Lab said. It said the richest 10% of the population now take up 52% of the global income, and the poorest only have 8% of the global income. So,
and they're busy making you more and more poor because at some point they're going to tell you must pay for the boosters, and then they just become.
I just saw something where they say, my friend posted vaccine, jab 1 done, jab 2 done, then booster 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then on booster 6 you get a toaster. So he posted, he said, can't wait till I get a toaster.
because Pfizer made, I think it was $1.3 trillion or something.
Yep.
They made a lot.
So the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And that is
and
the conclusion.
Sick get sicker.
And the sick get sicker.
And the sick get sicker.
The sick get sicker. And that's it for the show today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. For everybody who got involved in the comment section, man, we love to hear from you. It's the last show of the year, my people.
Gee
So we
whiz.
want to wish everybody out there a safe festive season, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year to you.
Yay.
On the 31st of December 2021, we'll obviously wait and hear what Mr. President says, but we will still be having a New Year's Eve celebration at Crystal Church SA in Eriton. So if you and your family want to come through just to give thanks and to join in with us, we've got a very special event. We've got some amazing guests coming through, so we're gonna make it a vibe. We're just gonna have a good time.
Don't kill our vibe.
So you guys can come through to the to Crystal Church on the 31st of November. The service is set to start at 10 p.m. because we're gonna do a memorial for those who have lost. We have lost during the year
of November.
of December. So let me just correct if I did say November. 31st of December 2021 at 10:30 p.m. 10 p.m. we will
Press
have
up on that,
we
though.
will have press up on that. We will have a service, but not a service. We will have a special event. I can't say what it is because we're only going to reveal that on the 25th of December on Christmas Day. So thank you so much, everybody. We really do appreciate you. We love you guys, man, so very much.
Why?
You made this year absolutely amazing for us. It was we
Lockdown and all.
laughed. We laughed together. We
guys have been the
almost
best.
cried. We shouted each other. We almost rolled. We are
Ride
on the
together,
show.
we die together.
But we thank you so much, man. God's blessings to you and your family. We love you so much. Bye.
Bad country for life.
Sure, and we still live.